you know?
A blessed existence, Wooly, a blessed existence. And, I needed it as well, because while there was definitely some highs since the last time we recorded this episode, there were some lows, Wooly. Ruby Tuesdays is not the only place I returned to, because I also returned to Silent Hill.
Oh. You paid a ticket for that, did you?
Wooly, what do you know about this movie?
What I know is they dodged doing the James movie last time around, and I guess they've eventually decided to do so. And I saw a trailer where people were likening the costumes to basically a porn parody, only to realize that porn parodies were more accurate and faithful with their costume design.
So, Wooly, I stumbled out of this movie. And, I went into this movie being like, I'm not going to become that person. I'm not going to be that fucking, they ruined my video game. Like, no, I'm past that. I'm nearly 40. I'm not that person anymore, is what I thought. And this film proved me wrong. The further I get away from this film, the more, like, bamboozled and, like, just, like, I don't even know what I feel mind exploded from this film. I feel, like, just kind of amazed that you started with Silent Hill, and this is where you got. Willie, can I tell you what I believe is the entire driving ethos of this adaptation?
Please, because I was just going to ask, like, one thing I know is, like, the previous movies, of which there were two, were just doing, like, the Mason storyline, right? Harry and 1 and 3, but Pyramid Head was in those, right?
Yes. Oh, Wooly. You are
okay. Yeah, I know.
I am telling you that there is a nest of hornets right there, and you are looking at your wrist and being like, "Oh, ladybird."
Okay, where
the
are
entire driving ethos of this movie is: what if James was the hero of Silent Hill 2?
Come on.
You know what Silent Hill 2 needs?
Come on.
A hero.
Oh man. Okay.
What if, Wooly? What if? Now follow me here.
Yep.
What if there was no moral ambiguity at all to Silent Hill 2?
Okay. Hollywood producer man plays through video game and just
now, according to Christoph Gans, Silent Hill 2 is his favorite video game of all time. After watching this movie, I am convinced that he has played one video game of all time, and it was not Silent Hill 2. This movie opens up, and first shot, James sparks up a fucking blunt. He then gets in a bar fight, and you know what, Wooly? He's a cool, sick artist who's like edgy and does edgy paintings. That's James Sunderland in this movie.
It ain't your daddy's James.
Yeah, this ain't your daddy's James Sunderland. I was telling the Infinite Review about this last night, and he came out with the all-timer line, "There was a bowl here. It's gone now."
That's pretty good.
But yeah, so like this movie's like weird because it starts off and the first scene is James meeting Mary.
Okay.
And in the same way that they want to turn Mary into, or the same way they want to turn James into a cool guy, they kind of turn Mary into like a cool girl. Like, and I know there's not a lot of Mary in Silent Hill 2, and when she is there, like, she's just a little bit pathetic. I think that's kind of intentional or whatever. But no, she's like snappy and she's got like zingers, and her and James like banter back and forth. And it's kind of like, it's weird, right? Because they make Mary cooler, but by doing that, Maria has like no place in this movie. Like, you could cut Maria out of this movie and it wouldn't matter. And I would say Maria is on screen for maybe like 15 minutes of the whole movie. Like, she's barely in it. And it's just weird. But then Angela is also played by the actor who plays Mary and Maria.
Okay. I feel like we've spent a lot of our time, basically, multiple episodes have been dedicated towards, and videos that you've made as well, preaching the idea that you shouldn't use media literacy to gatekeep.
Definitely.
But sometimes there are places where perhaps for some people you should be gatekept due to media literacy.
Yeah, and I'm going to say the benchmark for that gatekeeping is about a $27 million budget.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah. So, okay, here's the kind of movie this is, right? Do you remember the moment in Silent Hill 2 when you first see Pyramid Head? You come out of stairs, you open the door, and there is a bar between you and Pyramid Head, and he just stares at you. All-timer moments in horror games, right? So much subtlety, so much ominous dread. You go away, you come back, and he's gone. Where is he now? That's a fucked up thought.
What the fuck did they do?
Okay. What if now Pyramid Head breaks through the bars and chases James?
Yeah. Get your trailer shot going.
Oh, Wooly, I'm not done. What if, while running away from Pyramid Head, James finds Mary's dead body?
Okay.
What if Mary's dead body transforms into a giant tarantula monster where her ass is the thorax?
Oh my God.
And we get several shots lingering on her gorgeous thorax ass.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
What if Tarantula Mary and Pyramid Head then proceed to have the equivalent of a hardcore wrestling match?
Okay, so someone had one idea.
What if Pyramid Head then corners James in the closet, and he opens the closet and he sees James and he makes this noise, Wooly. Me! What if we then get a giant 3D camera shot that goes into the Pyramid Head and we can see that it's James's face under the pyramid? What if later in the movie James does a self-portrait? He does an edgy, sick painting self-portrait of his own face, and then he paints a giant red triangle around it and goes, no!
I was about to ask with fear if they made Pyramid Head talk. We are so far beyond this.
Wooly, that's the little ladybug over there.
Oh my God.
The hornet's nest. And we're just getting started.
Oh, wow.
So look, I can't go much further without going into spoilers here.
Oh, are we afraid of spoilers for Silent Hill 2 fucking years later? Or for Return to Silent Hill, for that matter? Really?
Yeah. And so, look, I know what I'm in for with this movie at this point. I'm like, okay, let's have a goofy, stupid time. That's what we're doing. That's what we're doing.
Shit.
Like, okay, fine. The problem is that, like, I'm like, Wooly, I, with my full chest, wholeheartedly recommended you all 7 Leprechaun movies. I love some schlock. I genuinely do. And I would say I even love that about the previous Silent Hill movies. Maybe not love. I enjoy that about those movies. They're silly, silly movies that aesthetically use the visual language of Silent Hill. And that's not a bad thing to me.
I haven't seen any of them, but I've heard to this day about the skin pull as a moment that fucking horrifies everybody.
That moment's kind of sick. That's the moment that kind of made me sit up and go, okay, I see what we're doing here. The problem, Wooly, is that Silent Hill 2, it touches off some, I would say, pretty delicate themes. And halfway into this movie, I'm like, okay, I get it. We are getting rid of those themes. We are just not dealing with them. I'm looking at the way they're kind of treating Maria, and I'm like, okay, I don't think we're really like doing that. This is basically a silly action movie wearing the skin of Silent Hill 2. I was wrong. So, okay, look, want to just drop a little content warning here. There's a character in Silent Hill 2, Angela. Angela is a survivor of, assault. It is very prominent in her character, how she moves, how she acts. And it's very prominent within the encounter with the abstract daddy, the bedman.
Her boss fight, her scene, the staircase.
There's one part that like really in that room, it's just these pistons going in and out of these holes, and it's so uncomfortable. The implications are so horrifying, and I think it's genuinely a very real and very honest depiction of that kind of trauma and this character. And I think the final moments with Angela on the staircase are some of the most heartbreaking in the history of games, because she says, "You can't save me." She's like what? Like, she's literally like, what the fuck are you? Like, what do you think this is? What can you, like, it is ridiculous that you thought you could ever help me.
Playing that for the first time like a year or two ago and having it hit with the full impact, time has done nothing to weaken how powerful that part of the game was. I was blown away.
And I really feel like Silent Hill 2, like, it depicts a lot of pain. I think there's like an incredible empathy for pain in that game. Like, it is unflinching in like what those characters have been through, and it is so like loving in how it lets that pain be real, and it respects its characters. So Angela is played by the same woman who plays Mary and Maria, and we get to the encounter with Bedman. And now Bedman has like a face. Like, when you see the abstract daddy in Silent Hill 2,
it's just, yeah,
you can make out that it's one person on top of another in a bed. The top person has a face, and it's Angela's dad's face. And then they superimpose Angela's face onto the bottom person. And it's like, it is horrifying, but in a way that I think is like genuinely disgusting and so disrespectful to that character. Like, it just feels like, what is the most fucked up thing we could do to this person in this scenario? And like, it adds no meaning. It adds no like context to it. It just feels like this horrific depiction of this awful thing. And like, I'm looking at it and like, I'm like, that's fucked up. And so then James like beats the monster, and the monster, along with Angela, who has been like, who it's her face in the monster now, explodes. And it's just,
And
the end
that's the end of her.
Yes.
Like, when you don't understand the source material, but you are now hired to work for some, like, okay, how a corporation can hire somebody who's talented to tell an amazing story, and then all the people involved in telling that story are no longer there, so the corporation is left holding on to this thing that people like, but they don't really know why. It just reaches out and goes, I don't know, can you make some more money with this? We don't really get it, but can you do something with it? Like, the idea that you can go through so many rounds of script writing and greenlighting processes and all that to the point where this gets done and what you're describing exists, and at no point nobody that liked or cared enough about the original was able to step in and go, this is insane, and I just don't understand how it gets this far and uses so much money. It's so baffling. The process is crazy. And this is all right on the heels of a remake that just came out that most people were like, that was a pretty good one.
Remake is solid, like I have my criticisms of it, but
Holy shit,
that is a game that understood the source material. We're not done, Wooly. We're not even at the worst part. So eventually, we're going and we get to the scene where James murders Mary. And in the original, this is a really hard scene to watch because James basically just takes a pillow and it's a real limited view of it, and it's kind of hard to tell what's happening, but I think that's kind of what makes it powerful in a lot of ways. And he kills her. And he kills her because he is exhausted of seeing her in pain. He is exhausted of his life with her. There's resentment, there is wanting to release his wife from this suffering, but there's also a selfishness to it. There's you cannot look at it and say it's a good thing. It's all. It's good, it's evil, it's hateful, it's love, it's everything,
Yep.
In this film, so they're not married. They are basically they were together for what seems like a couple of months, and then James found out that Mary's in a cult, and that the cult cannibalize her body, but then she also gets sick from the cult, so then he comes back to Silent Hill to visit this woman he spent what seems like a couple of months with. I don't know.
Sure, man.
Which is that's just, those are not even the same characters. That is not the same relationship, but she takes his hand, Wooly, and lowers it onto her own face, being like,
fuck off, dude. Oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
Holy shit, you don't understand anything about why any of this was worth it.
I'm going to go one step further. Not only do you not understand, you are a coward. You are a coward. Everyone who is involved with that creative decision is a fucking coward.
The only things making this story as impactful as it is the complexity of the fucking emotional turmoil that that he's going through, and what they're going through, and why, and how fucked up it is to have that be the guilt that you feel for doing that, but also the selfishness of everything that he was tempted by while resenting his dying wife. There's so much to that is ugh. And the letter reading at the end, which is just the ultimate in release. I can't believe that an official you can't possibly misinterpret this material any harder. That's crazy.
That's where you're wrong, Wooly. Because we're not done. Final scene of the movie. James wakes up and he's in his car. And it's the first scene of the movie. And he stops at the rest stop, and Mary's there. Just like in the first scene of the movie. And he's like, oh, Mary. And she doesn't know who he is. Because we're back at the start of the movie. And he's like, hey, I know you're going to Silent Hill. But what say me and you get out of here? and they drive off into the distance as rock and roll music blares.
And nothing happened. That's crazy. That's actually insane.
It is fucking lunacy.
Is this... Do they make an attempt to connect it to the other two movies at all? Or is it just like its own thing?
Yeah, I think there is some attempts. I think the cult that is like cannibalizing Mary is something to... I'm gonna be real, I don't fucking care.
Who fucking cares?
Who fucking gives a shit?
John, I have been a Silent Hill fan for 1 year, and being a fan of Silent Hill appears to be suffering.
Oh, yes. Oh,
Like,
yes.
I mean, it seems like the timing was all right, though, because, again, 2 remake and F, that's, hey, all right.
Hey, and ultimately, like, if you go remake F and the movie, and one of them's going to be a disaster, make it the movie. Like, make F its own weird fucking cool thing. And they did. Holy shit. Like, and like, Wooly, with Christoph Gans, the director, like, he knows how to create a look. There is, like, interesting shots in this movie. The shots never, like, communicate anything or mean anything, but they look cool. Oh my fucking god, I have never seen an adaptation whiff harder. Like, I have never seen an adaptation so thoroughly misunderstand what was beautiful about the original.
I'm getting hit with the flashbacks of Fox Kate talking about Addie Shankar doing Devil May Cry, at this point. Like, just the level of, like, just Hollywood sees horror as this thing, and this is what we must make, and then at the end of making our thing, we'll stick the word Silent Hill on it. Does it have a pyramid head? Does it have a dude named James and a character named Mary? All right, ship it. That's it. And an artist somewhere had a thought, someone had an idea that was like, what if ass spider, and it was like, yeah, ass spider. Yeah. Okay.
Hey, Jim, get over here.
Take a look at this.
Look at this drawing. That spider's got a good ass.
Now hold on, throw that back into ChatGPT. let's enhance. That's so upsetting for something that is originally handled with such delicacy and insane. When we talked about, like, how, with Berserk, and how, like, the best parts of it are when you can see that, like, Miura has been through some shit or has been close to it enough to have experienced the subtlest, like, details and to capture those on the page. And I felt that with Silent Hill 2 specifically. So I felt Silent Hill 2, 1 and 3 were great. I felt with 2 that the people involved in making this, with all the goofy parts attached, they had to be close to the subject material they were talking about, because it's handled with such specificity, and leaves that room for you to be like, oh, fuck, that's a compelling tale of pain. It's so annoying that you go all these years later, and the bits with bad video game adaptations, like, we've gotten not past it, but there's been some good ones. We're hitting every once in a while, every now and then, but you just are like, nah, we're bringing Silent Hill back, and we got cash to make. And I heard that, like, this had something to do with, like, the games coming back to begin with. Was the interest in the film being made had to do with the resurgence at all?
Yeah,
I can't.
It's just bizarre. Someone quote tweeted me on Blue Sky talking about this, and they linked this interview with Christoph Gans, and it's about why in Silent Hill, the first Silent Hill movie, he changed Harry to Rose, I think it is. It's been a minute since I've seen that movie. So basically, he gender swapped the protagonist of Silent Hill 1. And it's this kind of weird bit where he's talking about, like, well, in the game, Harry is, like, very, like, he's kind of screams a lot, and, like, he gets scared, and he's not very proactive. He's not a very masculine character.
Right.
So, to preserve those characteristics, and so to me, going back to what I said right at the beginning, the problem with this fucking movie is that someone looked at Silent Hill 2 $27 million in hand and said, this movie needs a hero. This story needs a hero. Because that is the only way you get from Silent Hill 2 to return to Silent Hill.
Yeah. No, an asshole who doesn't fucking... who's lived a life that has probably never been through shit is looking at each of these games going, I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to be, you know, like, ooh, Harry, what, no, fuck that. I don't want, you can't make, that's not cool. I don't want, what a loser. And just
it's not realistic a man would ever get scared.
I would, if I were in that situation, let me tell you what I would do. You know,
if Pyramid Head were here right now, I'd knock him the fuck out.
Yeah, right.
Oh, there's also a bit where James like John Wicks his way through like 50 nurses.
Of course he does.
And then one slips by him and stabs Maria.
Yeah. Man, oh man. And I can only imagine how the nurse shit goes, but like, wow, that's just... That's fucking unfortunate. Because at least when we talk about shit like, hey, remember how silly and dumb that Street Fighter movie was? Like, you can laugh at Jean-Claude Van Damme and, you know...
I will not have a word of shit talk about the live-action Street Fighter movie.
You know, and Raul Julia did a great job, and you know what? They made a bunch of money, like, that we can't fathom going straight to DVD on that. But, VHS, rather. After... No, not straight to, but anyway, in sales after the fact in, like, Walmart or whatever. What you're describing is, it's not in the category of so bad it's good. It's just... go fuck yourself if you have any feelings about this franchise then.
Halfway into that movie, I was like, okay, I think we may have a so bad it's good banger on our hands. It's mishandling of themes and just straight up, like, honestly, just like hatred towards its characters. Like, that's the part I can't get past, you know?
Okay. Well, fuck. Good to know. Thank you for the report. I appreciate it.
Always.
Okay.